Vision coverage provided by Wave Television, CBC Channel 54, CCV Channel 11, Southern Cable Network Channel 43, Dangliga Cable Vision Channel 54, BMN North Curzon Channel 11, North Vision Channel 10, Northern Cable Network Ensign Channel 11, and St. Charles Cable Channel 54 in Punta Gorda Town. First thing in the morning is carried live on SCRS Sugar City Radio Station, Orange Walk 103.1 FM. Wave Radio and Wave TV is live every day on our Facebook page, Wave Radio and Wave TV. Find us, like the page, and tune in every day. We're also on YouTube and on the Reggae Box app, formerly Elusive Radio. OJ Rington. OJ Rington, Joe Bradley. We are joined by Mike Singh. We're sitting in Studio 2. We're operating from the foothills of the Bell China Bridge right here in Belize City. On a Thursday, it's Trending Thursday.
Yeah, good morning.
It's the 16th day of November 2017. It's 38 days away from Christmas. Mike, good morning.
Morning. 2 days away from 18th night.
Yeah. And 2 weeks away from the end of the hurricane season, the 2017 hurricane season. So
and 1 day past lobster season ending. Since we're counting.
Yeah.
So, Mike, Joe, they just said to remind you that it's no longer on Reggae Box.
Yeah. We're on Mad Lab
Radio.
Yeah,
so
Mad Lab Radio. Which you can download on your Apple and Android devices. Yeah.
Definitely.
I have to pull that one there out now, right? Anyway, before we get into the discussion, let's take a look at the weather for Thursday, November the 16th, 2017. Information is at 5:30 this morning. The general situation, a drier airflow is dominating the weather. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and its coastal waters, sunny with cloudy spells today and partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated. There are no advisories today. The marine conditions, the winds north at 5 to 15 knots. The sea stay choppy. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for only isolated showers to develop. The temperatures, the highs today along the coast, 86 degrees, inland 90 degrees, in the hills 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The lows tonight along the coast, 72 degrees, inland 68 degrees, in the hills 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The astronomical conditions, the tides, a high tide will occur this morning at 15 minutes after 9, followed by another high tonight at 40 minutes after 8. A low tide will occur this afternoon at 33 minutes after 2, another low tomorrow morning at 23 minutes after 3. The sun rose this morning at 58 minutes after 5 and will set this evening at 17 minutes after 5. The moon will set this afternoon at 22 minutes after 4 and will rise tomorrow at 12 minutes after 5. And now your tropical weather outlook. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected in the North Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, or the Gulf of Mexico during the next 48 hours. We want to say thanks to forecaster Francisca Wellington and the Belize Weather Bureau for providing us with today's weather information. The Guardian is out. Get a copy of the Guardian. And OJ, I don't know if you know, but last week Thursday it started. The Guardian newspaper is giving away a holiday hamper valued at $1,000.
Wow.
And well, the hamper got turkey, ham, a whole lot of things. It's easy to get into this promotion here. You buy a copy of the Guardian, you read it first, and then the coupon, this week's edition of the Guardian carries the coupon on page 5. Cut out the coupon. All you need to do is to put your name, your address, your telephone number. You cut it out, then you bring it right downstairs at the Guardian. The raffle will take place on the 15th of December. Over $1,000. The hamper value over $1,000. And so, get in it. And if you buy your Guardian in the districts, you just need to take your coupon to the agent in the district, and he will or she will get it done. Yeah.
But Joe, I like the one that you did where you had to read an article and.
Yes, that's still on. That's still on. At $40 tomorrow, and give you $40. Educate.
Oh, he gone up.
Yes, because last week it looked like things were too busy, and we never get in any calls. So it's $40 this week.
Nice.
Educate. Yep. So Mike, again, welcome.
Thanks, Joe. Good morning, Belize.
And as usual, Mike, I know you wear many hats when it comes to the government of Belize, but so I guess today our discussion will centrally be around what has been going on in the CETA department to help with the good governance issues, because I know there is a plethora of different projects you're working on. So once again, we just wanted to get an update from you, because we know whenever you come with exciting news as to how you're going to
something new taking place.
Yeah, how you're going to introduce technology and processes to help in terms of good governance in Belize.
Good. Thanks, OJ, and thanks for that introduction. I guess I wanted to start to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that we're facing, that we're working at resolving. And as everyone know, government is always trying to figure out how to be more efficient so that we can collect the revenues to do the works that Belizeans have become used to from this government. The Prime Minister constantly is working at ways to be able to raise the kind of resources to build the infrastructure and the economy. And of course, there's challenges. You know, the expenses with government is often very high, and the only way we can find ways to reduce that is to bring better efficiency and better value for what we're getting. I sit weekly with the chief executive officers, and the discussion around the table is always, how do we deliver better? How do we make government more efficient? How do we improve our revenue collection without burdening the society? And more and more it comes back to that we need to start thinking smarter. Everything from crime control to economic development. If we start employing technology to those things.
I was just about to say, because then.
Well, you know the technology I want to talk, right?
No, yes, but I know when you said smarter, I know for the rest of us, so what, when they think stupid before? So what do you mean by thinking smarter?
Never.
Yeah.
No, when you could be smart and smarter. You don't have to be stupid and then smarter. But anyways, not to divert. So our role as the leaders in government is always to try to figure out how we can use better tools. And I think if I think about what I do every day, is I try to sit with the leaders in these ministries and try to see how we can bring better tools forward so that we could improve that service to the public. We can reduce costs, we can increase revenue, bring more transparency, and overall bring a better governance. And I think if I put the backdrop, and I'll go to BTL for a second if you don't mind, the fact that government controls BTL means that we have the platform to be able to launch a lot of these things, not only in government but also in the private sector. You know, we have fiber going all the way to homes over this summer, and which is continuing to the end of the year, which is bringing broadband, which is that platform upon which these services will be delivered.
Sometimes I have to allow you to translate that. Take it out to the 1 cent, 2 cent. What does it mean by fiber? How will fiber increase the efficiency or the delivery of product for the Belizean? What do you mean by fiber?
Okay, well, when we started on this whole technology run to try to figure out how to bring more technology to government, the first thing we have to think is how do we deliver it to the public? And the fact that BTL is owned by the people of Belize, and the management is controlled by the people and government of Belize, it means that we are able to set those policies in place to ensure that that technology, including things like mobile technology, goes into the hands of every Belizean. Broadband, which is very fast internet in layman's terms, connected to everybody's home and everybody's business, means that we now have that virtual highway upon which transactions can run,
at your fingertips.
Processes can run, and they can run a lot more efficiency, a lot more quickly. So that platform is something that we have established,
definitely,
which is something that now we can build on. So the next thing we need to start build is the pillars that will support these services, and I've been spending quite a bit of time working on them. One of the pillars is the ability to identify citizens of Belize, and we hear, and I'll connect it to some of the current things. You said it's trending Thursday, so I'll connect it to some of the things that are happening currently. You know, yesterday we had Senate hearings that spoke about issues in the immigration department, and Minister Hulse spoke very eloquently about some of the things that we're working on. Tuesday we sat in a meeting with him and Minister Beverly Williams to speak about some of the enhancements we're bringing to the immigration department. We're working and testing right now an online application system for passports, which is a way for us to prevent people from having to stand in lines, long lines, and long processes to get their passport. So very soon we should be launching an application that will allow people to go online, or if you live in a remote area, to use the assistance of an authorized official to go online on your behalf to apply for your passport. You know, those things bring efficiency. It means that people don't have to travel long distances.
All the way from PG to
Get online rather than inline.
Exactly.
I like that.
Get,
Online,
precisely.
I think
that should be. You know what? I like that. Joe, can I steal that?
Yeah, man.
I like that. I absolutely like that.
Online instead of getting inline.
And I might use you for the voice to do the
Man, I like that too.
But in any case, so our thrust is okay. Once we build this platform, and you talk about identifying citizens, you know, some of the errors that are highlighted in the Senate report, where there's falsified documents surfacing because of unscrupulous individuals that want to get by the system. You know, once we're able to digitize our general registry, connected to our passport system, connected to our elections and boundaries system, to social security, then you have a corroboration of
everybody has access to the same information.
So not only is the citizen able to connect online to get its services, but the services are then accurate. The services are efficient. Everything is correct. You're not playing around with information anymore.
And I think that highlights very two important things. The one that for some time I have been saying, and I think Minister Holtz highlighted it also yesterday in the brief time that I heard his testimony, is that a lot of the corruption that we see is not necessarily to circumvent the system. A lot of times what people do when they say corruption, that meaning pay you only money, is because they want the process to be sped up. So what we're talking about, because they don't want to spend that time in line, spend that time going from even Belize City, much less if you're talking some of these remote villages. For some of them, it's really a day's venture for a lot of people, even for many of us. I mean, for us to go for something simple like a passport, that means when you're going to apply for a passport, they're like take the day off.
And for a busy business person or an employee at a senior level, that's a very costly venture.
Exactly.
So anyway, so we're talking about connecting citizens to government. We're talking about connecting government within itself. And we're talking about improving those services with accountability, with transparency. And again, if you are interfacing with a computer, you're not dealing directly with an officer where you have that opportunity to compromise if there's a compromise available. So you go online, you apply for your passport, or you fill in your documents, you upload it, you get an appointment date, and you don't have to talk to anybody. When you show up with your appointment date, all your documents are there already. You corroborate that the originals match the copies that you sent, and you get you get through.
And even
that means that things are working better.
Even before the date of the interview, for example, immigration could check whether these are authentic documents with other departments.
Well, this is beyond that. Is what I understood it to be. Is that and this is what I was just about to ask. Is the system would authenticate the ID. So let's say before, what they would have done is to fabricate or create a false let's say social security card. But
can't do that anymore.
But now what he's explaining is that a part of the application is that now they will have each department will have a system which says, okay, this is an authentic social security, authentic birth record, authentic
we don't rely on paper anymore.
Paper, exactly. And so digitally verify the authenticity of these documents.
And that's what I mean about connecting government within itself. It means that the immigration officer would be able to query a database at Social Security, a database at Vital Stats to corroborate that this document will you bring me real. I don't have to worry about whether, and you know what, the digital fingerprints of those transactions will be stored on a server securely at our data center in Belmopan, that you could always go back and audit that and say, Joe Bradley, the immigration officer, he's the one that accepted this, that said that that document was real, and he searched the database. So you're bringing that kind of accountability that's needed in the system.
Or even more importantly, and maybe equal importantly, is if a person goes into the system and creates a false data entry for some reason, let's say that you want to create
it'll show up right away.
Immediately will say, okay, well, Joe Bradley is the one that went in there and entered Michelle Singh rather than Mike Singh. You understand me? So I think that is, obviously, like I've always said, my background in technology makes me excited when I hear things like this.
It provides a lot of accountability.
Of course. And immigration is one area. We're looking at it throughout government. I'll talk to you about the BELAPS in a second.
And it's harder to falsify the documents.
Well, it's
because
it's not a document anymore. It's a virtual record.
And less people have access to it. Actually changing.
Well, less people and more people have access to verifying it.
Yeah.
Because you if you think about a citizen's journey through life, you're born, right? And they register you when you're born. You're born in a hospital, wherever you get registered, and as you go along, there's touch points with government that you touch all along the way. And each time you touch an agency, if they're all interconnected, you get to verify information about that person. So Joe, you change your hair color often.
Yeah, man.
I admire it. I always like it when I see it. But at the end of the day, because you change your hair color, every photograph won't look the same. So at some point in time, we have to have a record that Joe Bradley looks different. Maybe you grow a beard, you shave the beard, maybe you had an accident.
But I think like my fingerprint.
That never changes. That never changes.
So, but all of that will be stored.
Those are the things that we want to be able to capture, so that we know that beyond the shadow of a doubt that a citizen is who he says he is, and then that way providing service to them like passports, police records, school records, anything that's an official document. So these people that are coming into our system trying to manipulate it will then be shut out, because some stranger that visits Belize, like this last case with this Chinese gentleman, he arrives in Belize and 2 weeks later he shows up with a social security number and all these things. It would be impossible for somebody to do it because he never had that journey, and that digital journey has no record in the system that our officials are looking at.
So in the system, the date he came in would be in the system already.
Of course, you say, but sir, you just come in at least 2 weeks ago. You immediately that and jump up at you. Okay. So we're talking immigration, but
we're talking. We've signed this anti-corruption convention and this.
And this is where the rubber hits the road when we start implementing systems like this to make sure that we are living up to those commitments. And this is really a big part of us going down that road and implementing what we said we're going to do. So we talk about immigration, and we could talk about that all day. I am not the immigration CEO, or I'm not an official there. I am really, my group is really offering support to them to be able to get these things done. So we sit with these ministries and we understand what they need, and we look for solutions. So we're doing some work with the police department now as well. CEO level has asked us to come in and look at automating some of the services that they offer to the public. Take a police record. You need a police record for just about everything you do in this country. But how long does it take you to get one?
Way too long.
All right, you have to wait, you have to stand in line, you have to travel.
Or go to Belmopan.
But in reality, what is that clerk doing behind the scenes when you come in and apply for that thing?
Simply
they're querying a database. Querying a database, and then they're giving you a certificate. Why can't you go online and apply for that? Pay for it online, have the query happen, and have an electronic version sent to you, or to who you want it sent to.
And put that clerk to do something different.
Of course.
And then the same, like for example in the police department, you can verify that.
Of course, because the system is there. It has a record of criminality, of court records. All those things are digitized already. But we're not connecting the citizen to that. Of course, with caution and firewalls and all that, but that connection, it's a convenient connection. So over the next 6 months or so, OJ, you will see that we will start launching things like the first thing will be a government portal where all these services will be in one place, so that you interact with government at this one location. And I'll tell you, every single department in government is now looking at how they can bring this service to the public more efficiently. So we identified something like 170 different interactions between the public and government. Everything, health records, you name it. There's so many things, little things that happen in ministries that we don't even realize. You know, things like getting a permit to drill a well is a process that you have to apply for. And all these things are exactly the same. It's an application form that you fill out. It's an application that you submit. It's something that goes in the back that gets first authorizer, second authorizer, and then you get a certificate of some kind or an approval.
So are you switching to the BELOPS?
I am switching. I am swaying towards that now. So as you know, 2 weeks ago we launched what I like to call a cluster of services that we automated, which has to do with the business community and the people that export and import. So whenever you're doing a transaction across a border, the documentation is a little bit different than when it's domestic, because there's international protocols we have to adhere to. So if you're exporting a perishable product, for instance, you need permits from health, you need permits from BAHA, you need maybe an animal, a certificate for an animal byproduct. All these things are things that are required. And if you look at a company like Maurice Sharps, which I was in LA a couple of weeks ago, and I have to tell you that that company is really, really blazing some trails. They would not be able to do that if they did not fit the criteria for export. And there's a lot of paperwork that allows them to do that. Okay, so we're trying to get a lot of our entrepreneurs to become export ready. There's a lot of our industries that have to export. And then, of course, our importers that bring in items, food items for consumption. So what we did is we created a group of, and with the kind assistance from the Taiwanese government, I have to do a big up to Ambassador Liu and his team, who that government has really come up to the plate for us. And they actually assigned a development team at our office for the last 2 years that have been building these systems for us. And we've been working very closely with these agencies. So we connected all these agencies together. So all their data is now talking to each other. Customs, BAHA, fisheries, forestry. So now an importer and exporter simply has to log in to submit his paperwork, and he doesn't have to drive from one office to the next anymore. He doesn't have to wait for,
that's excellent.
for some public officer who might be out ill, who has to sign the document.
Or who they eat. Or
even that interaction to try, as OJ said, to try to speed the process.
I was just about to tell you, you were talking eating. And as you mean, when you talk eating, I was thinking eating. Like how the man is up on the street then. I have to eat, my brother. You understand me? Because I know for some time that has been one of the, I don't know, because I know of it peripherally. People who've said it. I don't know of it for sure, but I know people have talked about the fact that for years and years and years, for decades, that when you talk about getting some of these permits, that they always have to, the cost of the permit might be $50 arbitrarily, but then the cost of getting the permit is $500, 10 times that, because of course. You know, there's manipulation of the system by each one of the government functionaries, the clerks along the line to say,
well, and there's facilitators that make money off this, which you know, those people need to be put out of business, because you are paying your taxes for services. You shouldn't be paying extra for those services. You should be getting it when you need it. So what BELOPS will do, Joe, is to allow that tradesman, that importer, that exporter, to be able to just go online. And he can now you know, with customs, everything is online with customs. You don't do paper entries anymore. Everything is filed through the ASECUDA system. It's all and clearing goods. The increase in the quickness, in the rapid nature of getting your entry done has improved so much over the last few years. And now adding this onto it means that even those exporters, those importers, and when you can trade quicker, when you can take care of the red tape a lot quicker, it means that you can do other things, that your business can grow. You know, there's a lot more confidence out there on the street, and so that's really the things we're trying to work on.
about exporting. For example, if you want to export chicken to the Caribbean, you have to be HACCP certified.
Correct.
It's easier to get that information.
The filing of it is easier now.
Right.
You know, for you to file your paperwork to comply with those requirements is a lot quicker now.
And when you get the certification, it's there.
Of course.
You pull it off.
And you talk chicken, which is a perishable good. You know, you can't have that chicken container sitting there waiting because some officer didn't show up, or because, you know, so if you're able to file all those things online and from your office, then it means that you can export that container quicker, and you can get to your market because you are competing with other people to get your goods to the market. And the same thing with import. You know, we have to make sure that the goods that we import are on the shelves when people need it. We can't have delays. We're not talk ham because then we talk about your belly if we talk about ham. But Christmas to come up, so you know the ham time.
So I forget all the certificates.
Of course, and in the case of you know what, I'll use the ham as an example. Why the hell not? Why the heck not? So that ham needed a permit to come in. The famous Senator Bacon ham.
Yeah.
Okay, that needed a permit to come in, and what happened is that it was brought in and imported without going through that process. And then after the fact, the importer tried to, you know, lobby everybody he could to try to get that permit coming in, and at the end of the day, it ended up violating the policy for importation of bacon, because there's local production that you're infringing upon, right? In any case, in that case, that permitting process would not have been done through a lobbying process. It would have been done through an automated online application, and there's no personal. The policy would have been built into the system, and there's no personal favor that would have allowed.
Everybody would have known that this no me, you know, have the necessary permit.
Precisely,
and
so that transparency.
And that would not have been allowed to come in.
It becomes transparent at that point. Yeah.
Okay.
So I know that, you know, you talked about, and the BELAPS has been launched, and you were talking about the immigration department implementing this system as well, being in its testing phase. What is big on the horizon? What I know, there is always something big and new coming. Give us a little insight into maybe something that you're working on in the background.
Boy, OJ, the big things that we're working on is the consolidation of that whole identification system, because that is a game changer. If I tend to watch the Caribbean news often, and Jamaica just launched what they call the NIDS, the National ID System. They spent a lot of money on it that I don't understand. I can't understand the scope of what they spent. But anyways, I recall watching Prime Minister Holness, Andrew Holness, when he announced the launch, and the things that he spoke about is that by launching this consolidated national identification system, where all the registries are kept together, every citizen in that country has a formal ID that is trusted, that is tied to the biometric information and so forth. It means that what you're doing is that you're bringing the stuff that's in the darkness out into the light. Because if officials are able to identify a citizen and know information about that citizen, what they're doing, and connect them, it means that anything that's happening in the underground, that's hidden, that it comes out to light.
Is this the
okay? So for me, that's a huge thing. To be able to build that identification system means that we can build so many different services that are trusted around it. So that's one of the big ones. The other big area that we're working on is the area of taxation, and I know that's not always a good word. The government has had a tax reform working group, which I was the co-chair of when I was the head of the Economic Development Council, but it is now it is actually headed by the Financial Secretary, and we have been working very closely with the private sector through the Economic Development Council in looking at the taxation policies and trying to figure out how we can improve the administration of taxes, and then that's where technology comes in. So one of the big things we're working on is that we're trying to look at how to make the policies in taxation work for the business community, for the citizens, and for government, because we all have to realize we're partnering on this. We need to make sure that taxes are collected from where they're to be collected and not burdened where they're not supposed to be burdened. The way I look at it, our middle class, or working people that are salaried, are the people that carry a great deal of the taxation, because those are the people that consume locally. So they pay the GST when they consume. Those are the people that get money taken out their paychecks automatically and so forth. And then in many cases, there's a level of the business community that pays a large amount, but there's a level that doesn't. And it has to do with not having the administration to be able to catch those that don't. And if you have any discussion with some of the members of our Economic Development Council and the Chamber, what they would like to see is a level playing field, Now, to level that playing field, you have to put some technology in there. Because you have to be able to connect those taxpayers to the tax department in such a way that you can monitor, that you can look at trends, you can look at where to send your auditors. So there's not a
for example, it can't be that all you're importing $1 million worth of goods
and
that is supposed to be
250,000.
You understand me?
So interconnecting that system that we put in place with customs and those importers, interfacing that with the tax department is something we need to do, because you can't end at the import. At the import, so what? These containers evaporated? No, they got sold. So somehow we have to be able to link that database in, so we can show where these goods were sold and make sure that the taxation on them happen at the level of the business payer.
We're talking about Trending Thursday. There's an incident right now with a person talking about government pressuring him to pay GST. When the system comes in place,
he got good audience from an organization that refused to pay their GST.
Yeah.
And I always am upset about the fact that GST allowed them to get away with just paying ads to pay their GST. I thought that is totally unacceptable. But because after this, if it were to be me, any attorney would be like, okay, everybody would be like, you know what? After my services, don't worry. Whenever you need anything, don't worry. I'll represent you at court then.
Well, OJ, the interesting thing about that case,
unacceptable.
Since we're trending,
putting it again.
The interesting about that case is that what caused the man to be under the scrutiny is because an agency in government, which is NICH, which for some reason he referred to as his partner, in reality, NICH is an agency of government, and NICH collects fees for use of our national parks by tour operators. So there's a project going on right now to automate the collection of those fees at the niche parks. Now by automating that and connecting that to the tax department.
You know how many people gone in there?
Well, yeah, of course.
So you could run.
He's a tour operator, so you know how many people he took to the park, so he can calculate how many revenue.
And you know how much what he charged, and then you know what government take should be.
Correct. So his reasoning is that, oh well, you know, I use my account at niche, all of my friends they bring in their tour group, and I put it under my number. Well, then pay your taxes for it then. Or tell your friends to pay the taxes. Why should that be the burden of the Belizean public to pay for that when you all enjoy the revenue you got from those people that went, those tourists that went there? But what happened is that there was an interconnectivity in an unofficial way between NICH and the tax department.
Excellent.
That brought that out. Now, if we can make that an ongoing interconnectivity where those agencies are connected all the time,
level playing field.
It means the playing field is level.
So everywhere you go, you have to pay because we know.
Thank you. Because when I go to the grocery store and buy my groceries, nobody give me the option whether to pay my GST or not. But I have to pay it.
But then the thing is, if that explanation, first time I'm hearing that explanation, the explanation I heard is I don't make that type of money no matter what it is. And I knew it was just
well the last interview I saw, which was
but I'm saying but then I'm saying it is, even if that is the explanation, then that means you are a co-conspirator in tax evasion. Even because it can't be that all that all these people, if you're saying it is not you, at minimum,
but they use your account.
You know that all the reason why these people and it can't be some by what they're saying. It cannot be some minuscule. It cannot be that all some one time. Say, everybody could be like, why at the car somebody want Panali one tour this time. Right. Obviously, it's a business operating because you're saying it is so substantially above what you're doing as a business. So then that means that all that all this person or these persons, if I'm supposed to take your word that all these persons are evading taxes, because what other reason would they have that they are not
paying the GST?
Yeah, not getting their own number to operate.
And then it should be. I mean, his thing is, nice because to bring up the example is great because people could see what the automation or these systems will assist us with. 72 weeks is not paid.
Yeah.
So with the automation,
you won't catch that right away.
You won't catch it
because you know that so many people on his account went to the park and there's revenue being earned. So where is the taxation of that revenue? So the idea, you asked me about the big thing. So in terms of taxation,
excellent.
What we need to do is we need to start linking our tax systems, make them more efficient, make them to the point where every single taxpayer is somehow connected to the department so that you can monitor activity. You want to be able to look at trends. You want to be able to say, okay, these are the areas or the industries that we're having issues, so this is where our audit focus will be, and to be able to tighten those things up.
Because basically, Mike...
Because, Joe, the amount of lost revenue that the government is having right now, we're talking about having issues with government finances and so forth, and what we pay for infrastructure. There's so much money that is leaking out of the system because of not having these tight connections.
Because if you look...
that we don't have to raise taxes.
Coming back to the same tourism, we hear the tourists who comes here, the visitors increase, but we never hear about the revenue, the amount of generated revenue, the increase. Now with this system in place, with these systems in place,
to monitor
we'll
activity,
be able to say, well, listen, so. A lot of the people are like that.
Joe,
but Joey, to level the playing field, though. I mean,
Okay.
I have been in business all my life. Yeah, of course. I mean, we all want to try to get to it with any something. But at the end of the day, is it really fair to our society for us to make money and people to not have the opportunity or the resources or the facilities? You know, I believe in fairness.
And I think that there is always this difference, like I said, in law, there is this difference, they say, between tax avoidance and tax evasion. It is an age-old...
Well, evasion is illegal. Avoidance is okay if there's a loophole that you
benefit from before you accept before. The Duke of Winchester or whatever is the name of hundreds of years
but
old.
If you're blatantly not paying, then
if you refuse to pay what is due to the government, then the thing is that people don't understand, and they talk about, we're fighting for the people of Belize and for the downtrodden but the fact is, it is those persons, it is when you avoid taxes, it is the marginalized, it is the persons at who are most vulnerable that are affected the most, because those are the persons who depend most on the social safety net provided by government. All of these services provided by government, such as when we talk about the boost program, such as when we talk about subsidies, the things that try to level the playing field for everybody.
The education system.
When the education system, when we talk about all of these things, the persons that need it the most, are the persons who are at the brink of poverty and in poverty. So when you try to...
But Georgia, even beyond that, I mean, I spoke about where the burden of tax is, which is on the middle class, which is on the working class. The people that are working for a salary don't have an option to cheat. Because they get chopped out of your paycheck the minute you earn it. So it's a pay as you go system. While at the level of where people whether it's this tour operator we're talking about, whether it's an importer, whoever it is, they have the opportunity to be able to manipulate systems.
Definitely.
And to do the avoidance, because nobody's chopping it out at source for them.
Yeah. Michael Spoolis, Carla, good morning, you're live. Hello. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I hear your program on this thing, right? Okay, fine. I hear that we are getting started in purpose to the government. That's fine. But right here in this oil, you go in those shops and you ask for your receipt when you want to pay a tax. Many times the man don't want to give, and if they give you, they start to argue with you. I believe, and I strongly believe, that the system, the government should have pressured those kind of people who don't want to give you a receipt when you buy it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Carl, and that's again when I talk about improving our administration of taxes. We have been spending quite a bit of time in the tax department looking at their processes, and there is a manpower shortage in to have enough people. You can't have a tax officer standing at every cash register at every grocery store in this country. You can't. It just it makes absolutely no sense. You'll never have the return on your investment. But what we need is we need the public to help us to police. So we're looking at developing systems where we will monitor point of sale electronically. That's one of the applications we're looking at. They'll tie into the tax system so that the sales will automatically be uploaded. And with again, I spoke about the platform we have with broadband, with what BTL has allowed us. We are now able to put devices and systems in place to monitor sales at the point of sale.
That will be excellent. Let me say,
which means that this caller doesn't have to rely on that merchant doing the right thing to give him a receipt, because at the end of the day, a copy of that receipt would automatically be uploaded to the tax department. That would be excellent,
boy. That would be, I think that would be revolutionary.
Those are some of the things that we're looking at doing to try to even that playing field.
That would definitely be revolutionary. We're talking about from grocery stores, from all the Asian stores to stores all over. I think that would be truly revolutionary.
There's a champion in all this that I have to highlight, and it's Miss Betty Ann Jones. I've worked very closely with this lady. She's a veteran in government and in taxation, and that woman feels very deeply what you have to do to make sure that you get the people's money collected. And sometimes I look at the people in the tax department, and I have to highlight this because I've been working with them and trying to improve the system, and the will is there, the heart is there to do it, but the tools aren't there. So what we have to do as a government, and I think this is where that quantum leap that we're trying to do, is to bring that technology to give them the tools to be able to jump to the next level and to do what they need to do.
Everything is interconnected because you need the platform. You need for this one to be electronic. If the GST department is electronic and the sales is not electronic, then there's no ability to interconnect. So there is and even if there's GST is electronic, even if we're talking about in this case, and like you said, if Niche, one of the things that caught them was that Niche automated the ability for you to collect these for these visits, and
so you know how much.
You could report that very easily into your tax system by TIN number, because then what Niche will do is say, look, every tour operator have to have a tax ID number. So then they will report that the sales that they make at the gate to the tax department. So when somebody comes along and on the reports, automatically you'll realize that look, you know, to report everything we do.
So make we send in the tax.
So the big thing, I wanted to expand a little bit on the whole tax reform. So there's two sides to the tax reform. There's the policy side, which will then make sure that we do things to incentivize business with the right type of whether it's a tax a break of some kind, a concession of some kind to the type of industries that we want to promote. And then there has to be better administration to make sure that the tax that we do implement, that we collect 100%. I don't know, there's no set number as to what the leakage is, but if you look at countries of our size, within our context, with the type of technology we're using, which is antiquated, the leakage could easily be in the area of 20-30%.
Wow!
You know, so if you think about that as your revenue that you're not collecting,
and I actually was thinking that's a conservative estimate,
because it might be, but I don't want to be quoted on it because
because I am saying this because, and I was going to say it a while ago, that it is not unique to Belize. Even the most powerful countries in the world, when you're talking about the United States of America, they have huge leakages, and I thought that I remember an article once that I read that their leakage is between 15 to 20%. That is their estimate in terms of what they lose, and they are supposed to be as developed as it comes to develop. But also the thing is that when you look at the system that Mike is talking about being implemented for a country of Belize's size, is that it can have such a profound effect. And this is, I always try to connect back the dots, because it's not just collecting taxes for collecting taxes' sake, because Dean Barrow wants taxes, or because Mike Sink wants taxes, or even Miss Betty Ann Jones wants taxes.
It is to provide the service
to the people. It is to provide services to the people of Belize. And again, not only to the people of Belize, but people who talk about they are interested in the well-being of the marginalized. Those are the persons who benefit the most from these taxes and from the collection of these taxes. And Mike, before you go, because I know that's all you said just until 8:30, Joe, I know we got one call just now, but maybe you want to remind people of the numbers that they can call, because the lines are open now.
2025-360-2025-36.
As Mike only has 15 more minutes with us, he already gave me strict instruction and he has to leave by 8:30.
Well, you saw how big my workload is.
Yeah, so
one of the things I want to say to you, right, coming back and using examples. Recently, maybe last year or the year before, GST had a raffle.
Yes.
The raffle.
Yes.
And because of the raffle and the involvement of the public, the tax collection there increased.
Yes. They
So
said
now,
it went up. I remember you're right, because
Right.
they
And
put
again,
somebody from the
so
GST
now
said
that was-
it went
by the
up
way,
tremendously.
That was Miss Betty Ann's initiative.
You're right.
She was adamant of getting that going, and I thought that was brilliant.
So we needed a raffle. We needed a raffle.
But Joe, let me throw this out to you. Why can't we automate that raffle so that the receipt automatically has a raffle ticket
Well,
on
that's
there?
what I'm saying too.
And then we run a drawing without you having to actually go to the department and drop it in a bag.
But let me be honest.
Technology
Even
allows-
But it just shows what we are losing.
No, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that raffle, I believe it was for a car
It was a
or
car.
something.
No, that mean 5,000 per month, you know. Then
And the
for
car was
6
the big
months,
one.
the car was the last one.
Whatever it was,
But-
I can tell you, I could tell you before that, and maybe even still now, I go and I don't worry about that. I have, when I'm going and buying something, especially you're going to the store, I'm like, I'm just in a rush. I'm just in a rush 9 out of 10 times and just want to get my thing and roll. But the printing of that receipt takes too long for me. But when that was going on, boy, I can tell you, I was like,
save your receipt.
I like, no, please send me receipt, please, for my receipt, so I can see why it was effective.
Well, you know, but even getting the receipt,
And that's because I never did putting any of the receipts into the raffle.
OJ, even just getting your receipt. I mean, I have gotten to a point that every time I buy something at a store, I get my receipt, but I also look at my receipt. Because sometimes a little trick happen when I just print one off a calculator.
Yeah, thank you.
So you want to look and see that GST is registered there.
And even the number
and
there.
And the TIN number is there.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
otherwise it could just be something out of a calculator. And these are the things, the challenges that those people that audit deal with every day. You know, they go to a store, the store owner all of a sudden can't speak English. You know, not have any records. So they have
no patience for dealing
and the amount
either.
of time that they have to take digging through. We want to be able to make that more targeted. There are certain tools we're going to be putting in place with a new tax system. We call it business intelligence, and I won't get into I know you're the IT guy, so you might know what that means. But there are certain business intelligence tools that we want to put in the system that will allow us to forecast trends, to be able to use there was this big program yesterday about GIS, to use geographic indicators where we can look at maps and say, okay, where are the taxpayers located? How can we more efficient? How much tax is coming from this region versus that region? How should we deploy our offices? Where are the deficiencies coming? Who are the merchants that are, you know, there's always an 80-20 rule in everything. 20% of your merchants give you 80% of the problems. Who are those 20%? So we focus on those. That business intelligence layer is something that we want to bring into our tax system to make it smarter and to be able to work more efficiently and to go where we need to go. Now, what comes out of this down the road is that when we start looking at the other half of it, which is tax policy, we know that we have a true picture of where revenue is coming from.
Definitely.
So if we need to start making adjustments
Definitely.
and say, you know what, we could tweak this a little bit, maybe reduce the burden where the burden is a little bit, because now we're getting more somewhere else.
Definitely.
And then we start flattening that leveling that playing field, flattening it out, so that burden then is evenly shared by everybody in this country, which is ideally what a government should be doing.
Definitely. And I know that how recently, like you said, the tax department, the GST department and income tax has been doing yeoman's work in trying to ensure that we have getting payment in on a more equitable system, because like you said, it is unfair for those, and that is the thing that I go back to, those that try to evade taxes. You understand me? You have a competitive advantage to those persons who are operating within the confines of the law and paying their taxes due, whether or not you are a media entity like the one behind there. You have to ensure that you pay your taxes, because it is unfair to all others who operate in the same industry Like you have a competitive advantage.
Well, we all drive the same roads that are paid for by taxes.
Yeah.
We all go to the same health system.
You can't be in one breath talking about poverty,
exactly,
and in the other breath not paying taxes.
Yeah. Yeah, we all need the same police force to keep us safe, you know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, so we should all be paying for it. We can't some pay and some no pay. Okay, I wanted to I know I'm running a bit short on time, so I wanted to highlight that government taking the lead in all this technology for efficiency is something that's very important for our country for another reason. Because us taking the lead means that we are, well, first I started off with the BTL platform. I talked about some of the pillars that we're working on. But a lot of what we're doing is actually going to help the economy itself in a general way. Because government taking the lead in developing these systems, these monitoring systems using advanced tools, means that we can also help civil society, business, even individuals. It means that we will help to create more jobs in a high-tech field, because there's need for more programmers, there's need for more system administrators. I find even in our department, in our unit in Belmopan, that the skill sets that we have there need to be developed even higher. And I will tell you, we have some of the smartest people when it comes to technology, for security, when it comes to things for system administration, even the programming. A lot of what we're doing is being built in-house by our own team. There's some cases where we're looking outside, like a tax system. We could never hope to build that here. You know, we need to bring that from a foreign entity, and the IMF has a team coming in January that's helping us to really look at how to select the system that we're going to put in place, because we don't have the expertise. But building that groundswell of expertise in Belize, where people can become digitally literate and to be able to support the type of systems, because everybody now has a device. You know, you look at penetration of internet and devices. You know, there's 165% penetration of mobile devices in Belize.
That means
for every person there's 1.65.
Almost everybody have 2 phones that are in the same.
Precisely. While with a computer, there's only somewhere, I think, about 15 to 20% or 17% penetration.
But that makes all the sense, because a phone is a computer.
It is a computer.
Is more powerful than any computer that existed 5 years ago.
Never leave home without it.
And Joe, again, to give kudos to the ownership of BTL. The reason why that has happened is now I drive around Belize City. Everybody getting on a bus is looking at their smartphone.
Yeah, man.
You know, I never dreamt that our society would have permeated like that. But what it does, it gives us a platform for us to deliver these services where we access it through the same little device.
You know, Mike, we are talking about technology, and you said we own BTL. We have that platform, and it shows the kind of vision this government has. I take, for example, I live at Belama. They're doing the road between up to the Halover Bridge, so now I can use the Dean Barrow Bridge. But that has only been there just recently.
Yes.
But it shows the kind of vision. We need to fix that.
Well, technology is no different than putting in a road or a.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's an information highway.
What if we didn't own BTL?
Exactly.
When I probably got Intelco with them, you call it.
You know me, I got WhatsApp. You know me, I got Viber. You won't have any of those things.
So we would not have seen the importance of implementing these systems.
Well, the cost is going down. I mean, the fact that we are able to increase the market and reduce the cost to the public means that what government is trying to do as that sponsor of technology
let me ask
becomes
you this,
very profound.
Mike, you would know this, and I think I've always said this, you know, because even when they talk about, and because we're just talking about governance here, even about the acquisition of BTL, we've talked about, we haven't received anything for it. And one, we've talked about the reduction in prices. We've talked about we've talked about the increase in the services, that the service delivery. But one of the things that people miss all the time, and which is interconnected to many of these things, is the fact that voice over IP would have been blocked. That's one. Two, connected to this as well, is the fact that we would have not been collected taxes for over 25 years. No taxes would have been collected. You better than most would know, how many jobs right now do we have in the field of call centers?
Boy, you know, I've been out of it for a while, OJ, because that's when I was involved in the investment promotion and development. But last that I recall, when I left it, it was close to 3,000.
And that's because over the last 2 years, I think that's what they've said, because they had a drive to try to attract more. So now it has seen a balloon.
Of course.
A balloon. So you're talking about over maybe almost 5,000 jobs which would have not been existed at all.
In
fact, because because I want to ensure that people understand this, Joe. That call centers are 100% based on voice over IP. That is all they're based on, and it would not have been here. The jobs would have been non-existent, because you need to have access to quality voice over IP technology, and the rates that they would have charged would have not been profitable for anybody to try to bring it here at the rates that they were going to be trying. And in fact, they had it blocked completely.
OJ, may I give you another example that's probably not obvious to many people, but the phone systems that we use in businesses, under the Ashcroft-owned BTL, you were actually not permitted to connect any device to their system that they didn't sell you.
Oh wow!
So you had these,
yes, you're right.
You had these gray phones that were. I mean, no,
yes,
I don't think anybody
right.
noticed.
Remember,
that gray phones have gone away.
Because
you're
right.
what you have now is that the cost of putting in phone systems in your business or in your home, or even the device that you're using, has gone down significantly. And now there's a lot of providers that will come in and actually design and build a phone system tailored to you at a very low cost. That was not possible before. You had to pay these exorbitant prices. We were paying $2,000 for a handset to BTL, because only they would sell it to you, and they would not allow anything else to be connected to their system. Now it's liberalized. That's what has happened. So governments come in, liberalize telephony in general. In reality, we have liberalized. We have reduced tariffs. We have allowed private connection and private services to run on the network. We have increased the broadband and still kept the company profitable. How can anybody complain about that? You know, really, the investment is not even so much the profit that the company makes, but it's the benefits that it has brought to the country in general.
You know, you're talking about call center, and I wanted to say this, that on Monday we had the mayoral candidate from Punta Gorda with one of his councillors here with us, and he was saying that he had a discussion with somebody in Belize City who is desirous of opening a call center in Punta Gorda. You're looking at between 350 to 500 jobs. All this would not have been possible if Ashcroft still owned BTL.
Of course. And like I said, what we're doing in government would not have been possible if we didn't have that platform to build on. So now what we're doing in government is to take us to the next step. Government is sponsoring this move into technology by the government ministries to get people exposed, so that people are connected. It also means that whole industry for technology itself now has a life, because the people that are helping us to support these systems need to be educated. Long distance education, Joe. Can you imagine that now, you know, we're working on some programs with education through the Deputy Prime Minister's ministry, where he, you know, and I have to again give some kudos to my friend Patrick. You know, he has been there every step of the way, supporting what we've been doing with the deals we did with Microsoft. You know, he's been there with Bell Apps. He's been there. The Prime Minister has been there all along, because these gentlemen believe that this is what's going to raise our country. You know, you could sit in a lecture in the States, right here in Belize. Yes, of course. Over the internet. Of course. Yeah, long distance. Long distance learning. You know, that was not possible. Yep.
Again, goes back to voice over IP
technology. Yes.
Again,
you could have,
which again people don't appreciate that. Generally, and it's easy when you. I think it's human nature. When you get something, you start to take it for granted. All of the thing, WhatsApp calling, Facebook calling,
everything,
all of those video calling. People completely forget, and may not know. Some might forget. For those who are older, might forget, and those who are younger might not know that was underneath the agreement, the accommodation agreement, and Ashcroft's BTL. There would be absolutely no voice over IP technology allowed. It was strictly in there.
OJ, I'll leave you with this. I consider technology to be the great equalizer. And I know you studied ICT, so you agree with me.
100%.
It is the great equalizer. The fact that the man working on the street, building the street as a laborer, is able to send a WhatsApp message the same way that the CEO of a large company can do it. It is the great equalizer. We're all connected to each other because of technology. It is incumbent, I believe, upon government to promote that and to build that equality. You know, in African countries, it's a huge push to get farmers in remote areas to have smart technology to use for their crops. You know, to understand the price of what they're growing. These things, it's so broad what the impact of this is in our country that I can't even quantify
it. But Mike, last week we had the Raspberry Pi Jam.
Yes, exactly.
And young students. One of them was this irrigation system. Nobody have to go. They go check nothing. At certain times, you get watered. You cut off.
So this student can become an innovator because that student has access to the same technology that MIT has.
So all this, the Belize taking over BTL, Belizeans taking over BTL, voice over IP, right? All of that now is a new industry. So something we'd have never been able to get into if it were not for this government who took over BTL.
Yeah, and government has to lead the innovation. You know, taking over BTL was one step. But now we're now pushing it to the next level, and we are going to lead the innovation in services where there's an e-governance, which is the same like e-commerce, where you can pay online and you can do it, and all of a sudden
get online instead of being
I like it, Joe. I like it. I will use it. I promise you, I will use that.
Mike, I know that it's 8:30 now, so I want to say thank you for
your final word, or
joining us. Yeah, any final
word?
Yeah,
final thing there, man.
Boy, I just want. I think what I would like from the public and from, particularly, and even public officers, is for people to understand where this movement is going, because I see it as a movement more so than just a series of applications that we're doing. So our strategy is really broad, and it covers every aspect of our governance to be able to bring this automation in. But it means that the public has to understand what we're doing and to give it a try. You know, when we launch the immigration system, give it a shot. You know, go fill out your form online and see how you work. You know, give it a shot. I know we tend to be stuck in our ways, and change management is a very difficult thing because it means that you give me something I'm not used to.
No, Mike, let me tell you this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm telling you, the only thing I will ask you to do is to ensure that all you advertise it properly, that it's available. Because I'm telling you, like I told you, something online like the passport application, you don't need to tell anybody that they must go to use that. The only thing is those who are not technology savvy, they will, once it's available, those who are technology savvy will go and apply. Secondly, those who are not, there will be those who again will create an industry who will, a person who, in fact, you have places that apply for visa right now, service provider that will make these applications.
You pay $15.
Listen to me. If you pay $15 for someone to apply for you, even in Belize City, and I'm not talking about living in PG. If you are supposed to say pay someone $15 to apply for a passport for you, boss man, if you catch the bus,
that 24 from PG.
No, I'm just talking about Belize City. 750 going, 750 coming back.
Your time.
And not to mention your food, not to mention your time, not to mention all of this. So there are going to be people who are going to ensure this. So again, I completely am more than buying, and I am completely confident that the Belizean people, like you said, it's just a matter of time. Maybe the only thing that they might be anxious about is maybe the security of it, because you know, again, we're always conscious about putting yourself on. But people like me, I don't used to put in everything online. Well, there's a point. Sometimes I actually don't punch in my information.
This new generation, where online is not as daunting as it is for maybe people like me and you, Joe, although I'm younger than you.
Yeah.
But people like me and you might be a little bit hesitant.
Yeah,
because,
at least
you know,
slower.
we know that,
But
the new generation,
like me.
They are used to doing everything, and quite honestly, I don't expect that any government service is any more complicated than signing up for Facebook.
That's
and
right.
Everyone and sign up for Facebook.
That's right.
So we are. I think we're at the right time.
I like that idea. It's no, you should use that as well. It's no harder than signing up for Facebook. You see how to come up with the
marketing.
You know.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks again for
really
coming,
appreciate it.
Thanks.
And I look forward to having these opportunities too.
Definitely, like we said, we hope that all you come back at every single point. Thanks for agreeing to come here and give us an update of what you're doing. And once again, you know you have an open invitation. And please, when something big come up again,
come back.
Definitely.
But you see, OJ, nobody, the public would never know when it happened if we don't come out and tell them.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And
so they know something is coming. This is work. And people now, because I get at the risk of sounding political, people, why we buy BTL? We know.
You know why?
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So again, thanks.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Our numbers are 2025-360, 2025-361. OJ Elrington, Joe Bradley. We'll be right back after the short commercial break.
Stop! Don't be mean behind your screen.
Cyberbullying hurts real life.
It's time to take a stand.
And say no more.
No more.
Think before you click.
Click.
Join BTL and BFLA's competition inviting young people to promote cyber sense on the internet. Under the theme, Think Before You Click. Category 1. Participants will submit their poster, which will be posted to BTL's Facebook page for fan votes. Top 3 selected will then present their illustration to a panel. The winner will receive a 10-inch tablet and $500 cash. Category 2. Participants must submit a 30 to 60 second video focusing on the campaign and will follow the same judging procedure as Category 1. The winner of Category 2 will receive a laptop and $1,000 cash.
Join us in spreading the word on cyber sense. Think before you click.
Click.
The first 2 phases of the Hummingbird Highway Rehabilitation Project from the Belmopan Roundabout Junction to Saboon Bridge and Alta Vista Bridge to Dangriga Town has already made a remarkable difference for commuters and residents alike. These first 2 phases are a $16.5 million investment by the government of Belize. Under this project, the highway is being rehabilitated through improvement of the road pavement to create a safer environment for the public. Improvements, especially in the areas that pose a high risk to motorists, include the introduction of paved road shoulders, high visibility line markings, reflective road studs, bus lays, and other features that will bring the entire road segment in line with internationally recognized standards. Additionally, the replacement of the existing single-lane bridges will reduce road user risks. These improvements will increase economic, tourism, and agricultural opportunities, further encouraging the social development of Belize, particularly in the south. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
If it's a party for 18 to 30, we party with Fiesta.
Fiesta and Coke, you know, that not joking, no know about play.
If it's a party for 30 to 45, we party with Fiesta. If it's a party for 50 to 80, we party with Fiesta. Travelers Fiesta Rum, the new party rum of Belize. Ask for it at a store near you. For 18 and over, drink responsibly.
There's no need to go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters. Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
We know that in today's busy business environment, you need banking to be fast, flexible, and convenient. With Belize Bank's free online banking, you can process employee payroll, make social security contributions, make GST payments, process customs duty payments, view account information, pay bills, and more. Sign up for Belize Bank online today and spend more time focusing on what matters most, the success of your business. Belize Bank Online. Easy, convenient, secure.
Okay, students, let's focus now.
Teacher, yes, teacher.
Can anyone tell me what sustainable development means? Ganze?
Huh?
Anybody?
Teacher. Last night my dad was talking about sustainable development and he said something about people and nature and something else. Oh, and money.
That's good. But did you ask your dad what sustainable development really means?
Yes, teacher, but he said I was too young to know what that is. Is it something bad?
No, Balisha, it's not bad. It's delicious. Well, at least it looks delicious on the TV.
Can I get some? No, Waldo. You're thinking about edible arrangements. That's what you saw, edible arrangements.
Don't laugh, class. Some people get confused with sustainable development. But when we balance the three things Padisha said, we achieve sustainable development.
What do you mean by balance, teacher?
It is when people use only the resources they need from the forest, rivers, and sea and leave some resources to grow back again.
But teacher, why do people cut down the nice trees that give us shade and kill the poor animals?
Because people need wood to build houses, food to cook, and water to drink.
But teacher, we have enough trees to get wood and enough plants and animals to get food. Good enough that we can sell them and make money.
That may be so, Waldo. We need money to live. But if we use up all the resources, then there will be none left for our friends and families to see later. Do you think that's fair?
No, teacher. That's being greedy. My mom always tells me to use what I need now and save for rainy days.
Exactly.
Teacher, if we take care of Belize's precious resources and practice sustainable development, we and our children can enjoy all of Belize. That's what I learned from the Department of the Environment when they came to present at our school.
Oh, that's excellent, Waldo.
Be prepared before a storm. Protect your family, home, and appliances this hurricane season. Remove antennas and trim trees that are close to power lines. Install surge protectors for your appliances and help prevent damage from lightning. Always have batteries for your radio so you can listen to hurricane advisories. Don't take risks. Call 0800-BEL-CARE or 0800-235-2273 if you have any questions or concerns regarding electrical safety.
Your one-stop marketing shop is Dolphin Productions. Contact us for graphic designing, printing, banners, billboards, t-shirts, embroidery, promotional items, ID cards, and so much more. Give us a call at 223-1837 to get your business marketed. Find us on Facebook and Instagram or email us at info@dolphinbc.com to get your order in. Dolphin Productions, bringing ideas to life.
Blackout?
Oh, but outside light up.
Wait, did you pay our light bill?
Today was really hectic. I didn't have time to go all the way over there.
Over there where? You only needed 2 seconds to type pay BEL $48 and send that text to bank at 2265.
Oh, really?
Boy, you forget we are now connected to Heritage Bill Pay Service. We can now text to bank at 2265 from anywhere, anytime to pay our bills. And Heritage Bank does not charge for this service.
Convenient and free? Let me text bank to pay this bill because tomorrow might still be hectic.
Remember to add on more for reconnection fee. And next time, just use Heritage Bill Pay to avoid this problem. In fact, text 2265 again and pay for phone and water one time.
Just text 2265 and pay your bills on time with Heritage Free Bill Pay Service. Heritage Bank, the bank that gives you more.
Stand in line, pay online. With Social Security's new online contribution portal. It's a fast and easy sign up.
It's very user-friendly, it saves you time, and it's very effective.
24-hour online access.
Access is simple and the uploads are very, very easy.
And it saves you time.
It saves time in that, one, I no longer need an employee to go over to Social Security Board and stand up in line for a very long time.
And by us using the portal, especially because of the volume of employees, the amount of employees we have, it's a quicker way for us.
Social Security Board, committed to service excellence.
As a
Welcome back to Thursday's edition of First Thing in the Morning, live from Studio 2 Wave 105.9 and 99.9, your entertainment and information center in Belize. OJ Elrington, Joe Bradley, we're sitting in Studio 2. We're operating from the foothills of the Bell China Bridge right here in Belize City on a Thursday, trending Thursday. It's the 16th day of November 2017. And OJ, we want to remind all members of the United Democratic Party family that next week, the 26th of November in Benke, the United Democratic Party will be having its final convention to select the team that will represent that municipality in the upcoming municipal elections, which will be held on the 7th of March 2018. And that convention will be held at the Kancha.
Joe, well, you know, so obviously, like you said, the Guardian is out, and I see on the front page of the Guardian they have the headline is Punta Gorda gets the best basketball court in the country. I don't know if they get, I guess it's I know it's a wonderful court, but I want to think that all the Civic Center is the best court.
Well,
but that maybe that's me.
Civic look from outside, right?
Definitely.
The minister is saying that they will have one open day sometime.
I think it's next month. Next month we got the We got the notice from at the board level at the sports council that all the minister definitely wants to do an open house for all
everybody
those.
Could
Everybody
can
go in
and question.
And even and I think that all that would be even before it's complete, but it's just an opportunity for all Belizeans who want to see the inside of the facility even before it's open and to check the status, to check it out.
Yeah, and I think also OJ, the same center, the center in Punta Gorda, the official opening will be taking place tomorrow.
Yes, actually tomorrow, myself and the minister, the Honorable Patrick Farber, are heading there. I'm wearing my hat as a member of the board of directors of the Sports Council. So we're going down tomorrow to open the official sports. And actually tomorrow, and actually yes, we're spending the entire day in Punta Gorda tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, tomorrow there's a bunch of activities that is planned. We're meeting with youths. We're doing a bunch of different activities, and most importantly, what we're doing is launching the opening of the sporting complex in Punta Gorda. For those who have not seen it, it's an absolutely well. If we have the opportunity to show the difference, I know I saw. Kudos to my friend Alfonso yesterday, who dug up a picture or a video of, I don't remember if it's a picture or video of the old Punta Gorda Sporting Complex, which has fun memories to me because that is where we won our primary school basketball championship and we were treated as celebrities. That's where, no, that's not primary school, sorry, it was high school. High school, that is where we actually won our high school basketball championship in Punta Gorda. And I remember any little rain, it comes down, it was just a shock. But again, nostalgia, but it is night and day in comparison to what the facilities are now. There is world-class facilities there. Tomorrow I get to actually touch and feel and to see exactly what the facilities are like. So I'm actually very excited at the opportunity.
Tomorrow when you go, get a ball and take a shot and get somebody if you take your picture.
Oh yes, man, and it going into for sure.
Yeah, they can't afford, so they tell me get this side, but one ball. You know what I mean? Because you get in there, one play.
Yeah,
because you're in a world class.
It's a world class facility.
Yes,
it's most definitely a
yes.
world class facility. So, kudos to the government of Belize on seeing the importance of putting such a, because oftentimes, you know, they say the South is forgotten, and so people want to put substandard facilities and say, well, this I would deserve, but that facility is absolutely beautiful. Even I've even seen two of my good Pew Free friends who are actually sometimes honest. They said, you know what, they can't lie, that facility is spectacular. So the people of Punta Gorda have something now which they can be absolutely proud of. In fact, I think that last week Friday they had a soft launch in which they used it for the Battle of the Drums down there. And again, and on that note, I must say congrats. I don't know if it was that same competition, but I believe it was that the La Rubea drummers right here from Belize City were the winners of that competition. So congrats to them. I had them on my show on Channel 7 there last night. But also in sports in Belize, we know that the Football Federation has its election coming up. I've seen Minister Saldiva been writing over, he's been going into detail. I've been following it, his detailed analysis of the current election. So things are really heating up in that that will be what, let me see when they actually have it. I have it right here. 3rd? It is December 2nd. 11th Ordinary Congress is on Saturday, December 2nd, 2017, 10 a.m. at the Ramada Princess. So obviously the big agendas on item at that Congress is going to be the election of the president and I guess the vice president and other or whatever other slates are open. So you know that is something which has the sporting community in Belize obviously excited and anxious at the same time, because you know we need to see progress in the development of specifically football in Belize and sports overall. And on that note, I must say congrats to my friends who are the new franchise owners of Belize, of the newest NEBL team. It is the Belize City Defenders. You know, I love basketball, and I love all my teams all over. I have so many friends that play in the NEBL, but I have to go with my Belize City Defenders. So now officially I have to have one team that I'm riding with, because it's my brothers are the owners, and I know that a lot of my friends they want to play upon the Belize City Defenders. So I'm very excited about the NEBL season this year.
Well, you have a good facility on the civic
have
center.
Excellent facilities as well, all over. I don't know if they have a Punta Gorda team, but I think that it is high time they allow a Punta Gorda team.
Well, they're having a competition.
I know they have, but I'm talking about for the NEBL.
Okay.
With that facility, it would be a shame if we don't have a Punta Gorda team representing in the NEBL. In fact, as I understand it, they might be having a team from Chetumal playing in the NEBL this year. I don't know. That is rumors. I don't know if that is exactly.
Well,
if
will
there's
that
any
mean
truth to that.
that we will go over Chetumal and play part of
I'm assuming that as well. Like again, it's like kind of like the NBA now. You know how NBA are mostly America, but then you have the Canadian team and the Toronto Raptors. So I'm thinking it is something like that. That there's such a sister-brother relationship between Belize and the Chetumal, Quintana Roo area that they have invited them to be a part of it. I would hope that that would be, because that would definitely do a lot to elevate the level, because what that would do as well is that that would have people in that area would be excited to come to Belize City for their games and get to learn Belize City, learn about the when I say the opportunities for them to actually enjoy Belize as a destination, because if they have a team, they would not only go to Corozal or the Free Zone like many of them might normally do, but then they'd be forced as fans to go to other parts of the country. Belize City, they'd be forced to go to San Pedro. Well, a lot of them go to San Pedro, but PG, Dangriga, Cayo, venture deeper into the city.
It would be nice also if the league could attract a team maybe from Guatemala. So
the brother sister partnership, definitely. Brother sister partnership.
And then also if you're having teams from Chetumal, business people in Chetumal will be able to you will attract that sponsorship, and so the thing could only get bigger.
Definitely.
But
so
we got good facilities.
Yeah, they have not good facilities, great facilities.
Yeah, so
great facilities all over the country. Dangriga has again a spectacular new facility. Toledo has a great facility. Belize City, obviously, as you know, has a absolutely world-class facility. All over the country, you have these new facilities that are being built to facilitate the sporting disciplines. So last but not least on sports, I wanted to say that to give people a reminder that starting January, we have not put out the official advertisement as yet. I have to arrange with Juliet and with everybody and all the other partners. But starting in January, we're going to be having the Youth Basketball Cup. This is the Belize City Youth Basketball Cup. This is a collaboration between the Belize City Council, the Belize Police Department Southside Division, I believe that is the division with our community policing division, and the Belize Sports Council. Those are the three primary partners who are putting together a citywide tournament which will have each teams from throughout the city competing. The competition is going to have both a junior division and a senior division, and when I say senior, both of them youth obviously, but one I believe would be under 16 or under 17 and 17 and above. And so we're looking forward to that. I know that it has some great prizes. It has, the idea is for us to come together as a city and for us to have the opportunity to go into the different areas and for people to be able to interact, and for members of the Belize City Council, the police department, members of the community to come together and have an opportunity to surround themselves around something good.
Bring your family to enjoy good, clean family fun.
So that begins in January, but I know that we finalized some of the major details last week. Oh, and sorry, and Sprite. How could I forget who? Sprite. Boeing is going to be the central partner in that initiative, and so yes, so that it is for sports. And so also in the newspaper, I also saw that the Belize City Council, and under the leadership obviously of His Lordship the Mayor Darrell Bradley and specifically underneath the new mayoral candidate who lobbied very hard for it, that 2.8 million more in concrete streets will be coming Belize City's way.
Well, and as you're talking about street, I need to inform the general public that work will begin next week Tuesday on East Canal.
Oh, that is one of the ones
right,
that are going to be completed.
That are one of
yes.
the way, and it will.
And this is in addition to, I believe that they were on air a couple weeks ago talking about some of the rehabilitative work that they're going to be doing to other streets in the city. That also was a grant gifted to them from central government to do rehabilitative work on those streets, which may not be, that will not go to concrete standards, but will be
next
going
to paving standards.
Yes, we'll get next to paving standards, and to those ones that are totally in disrepair, for them to come up to some standard.
Yeah, but Tuesday they will start East Canal, and they will start, I think, from Bishop Street. That would be Bishop Street to Orange Street. Is it? Yeah. And so they'll be doing it in sections. And so we just want to advise the general public, right? And we want to also apologize for inconveniences which may be caused. But work will start next week, Tuesday, on East Canal.
Yeah, so again, I think that all the citizens of Belize City will be excited to know that we have a number of other streets that are going to be.
They have 168 cemented streets
already.
Yeah.
And so we have a number of others that will be concreted. And so nobody cannot try to say that it is just election time. So why this is just a continuation of the same work that has been done from year to year, week to week, day to day, by the Belize City Council, that continues to work and continues to provide the people of Belize City with great service. Obviously, I was telling someone the other day, we're having this discussion, and say, you know what, all the way, self-included, always I'll be like, when you reach my street though,
yeah,
I mean, it's human nature, you understand me? But I wanted someone to give I wanted them to ask, and I asked it once, but they couldn't tell us the exact amount. I wanted to know exactly how many streets there are in Belize City.
500, if I'm not mistaken, it's 535 streets.
Okay, so that is just giving people so that people could understand the scope of how many streets it is, and at all for you to reach every single street, and for you to even maintain the streets. Like the other day, a good friend of mine was complaining and saying that some of the streets are becoming dilapidated, but I didn't want to ask them on social media. But I was like, but how long ago was your street paved? If it was paved 20 years ago, like everything in life, it has a lifespan. Now, if there are certain streets, like you said, if it was something which was paved within the last year or two, then I think definitely we need to address those streets, which we have seen over time. And I think that I love the idea, and I think Darrell Bradley, I applauded him on doing this. I think it was the first person that I saw do this, was that they had a portion of the funds which would not be released until a year after the streets have been were completed. So let's say if they finish a street today, they would have a section of the funds which would not be paid until next year. What it be 15 or 20%, whatever number was withheld, just in case there were any repairs that needed to be done to the streets. And I thought that was one of the most excellent ideas, because sometimes it is not necessarily even by intention that they might have slipped up on something. But I don't think that all the citizens of the city should be the ones who are punished because of whatever happens, even if it is something which was outside of the control of the contractors. So they have to repair it when that happens. And so that was one of the more
you have a number of contractors who had certain policies. Like I know one of the contractors, he will tell you that he would never pour cement between 10 and 2 in a day. He said because it's too hot, the cement dry too fast. So he poured a morning. In fact, I think that contractor, Mr. Medina, did the street by our home there, and he was out there working late at nights pouring cement, because he said it's better when you pour the cement when it's cool rather than when it's hot. Others probably said, well, we want to finish it, so what I mean. But there were lots of different things, and so 168 cemented streets.
Yeah, but I like I said, there are a number of them that are to be paved. They said East and West Canal, between King and Water Lane on East Collect Canal, from Dean Street to Yarborough Bridge on West Canal. Also on the schedule to be concreted are Erie Street, Chancellor Avenue, Gibnut Street, 3rd Street, Raccoon Street, Cemetery Road from Central American Boulevard to Dolphin Street, and a couple others.
Well, like you know the Erie Street bad. That the one that come off for Hudson Street by St. Catherine's Day. That one never.
And I have to laugh, you know, because and I read on the other side that, oh, like I said before, this is in addition to other streets that will be rehabilitated, and some have already begun to be rehabilitated. They were waiting until the rains to be finished before they actually started to do some of this rehabilitative work. But I had to laugh because your good friend and my good friend Moses Soft the other day was singing his praises, boy. He was saying, you see, that because of me and because I was making noise about Arlington Drive, that all, you know, you see, if you make enough noise, they're going to come and do your streets. Well, first and foremost, let me say, it is the responsibility of residents, no problem, residents, and like I said, and sometimes you do have the right to complain and to say, well, and definitely to alert the Belize City Council if your street is in disrepair. That is fair enough. But what must be made very clear is that the Belize City Council has a schedule set out from some time ago.
Yeah.
And if a street becomes dilapidated, it has to join that list of streets that need to be repaired. Obviously, I'm not the person who does it, and I don't know how exactly they go about the formula, but obviously they would make considerations such as whether or not the street presents how much the street is actually used by the residents. Is it a major thoroughfare? Is it a street that is used by a lot of people?
The weight the weight that the street will carry, the type of vehicle,
the vehicles that will go there, whether or not how badly damaged the street is, because sometimes, you know, if you have one pothole, somebody be like, man, you need to come fit with street, or whether or not, you know, it is a street with craters, etc., etc. And definitely, how long has the street been in that condition? These are some of the considerations I think that they would make in determining the order of the streets that will be rehabilitated. So, Mr. Solve, with all due respect, I know you believe that all the world revolves around you, my dear brother and friend, but the world does not revolve around you.
You know,
and the repair of Arlington Drive was scheduled a long time ago. But if it makes you feel good about yourself,
but even the mayoral candidate, I heard him on Marshall's show, and Marshall, me go off and say, "What about Marshall? He going for your arms." He was saying that because they were walking on Arlington Drive, the Belize City Council started to repair that street. But let me tell you something. When the City Council, when Darrell got in, you know what he did? They had a map of all the streets, and they started to connect streets together. You could come into Belize City and go out of Belize City on cemented streets.
Yeah.
Right, so it's a plan, and everything fits in it. And like you said, I agree with you. Residential street, and I refer to them as commercial streets.
But they're even, like I said, it's a complicated process, which I would not even try to venture into trying to say exactly how it is determined. But it is a methodical process done by those who are professionals, who know what they're doing, to determine which streets need to be done. Again, each and every person, myself inclusive, would want our streets to be paved, concreted, and to be in the best condition possible. But reality tells us that we must be patient, and if I see work being done throughout the entire city, then I will be more than satisfied that work is being done by the City Council to address the problem. Yes, and I will, as always, as everybody should, you know, when you see the councillor, remind them that your
when my one are
done, no problem. And in fact, and he can tell you, like they've said for some time now, one of the city councillors live on one of the streets that I've heard being complained about the most. For some years now, I've heard that street being complained about. My good friend Haya, assistant manager right there.
Yes.
The app for now, I'm telling you, literally, I was not here, but I was listening a day, and I said, boy, you know, at least for 2 or 3 years, I've been hearing people calling to complain about that street. And the councillor herself lives on that street.
Yeah.
And the street, again, the city council has a process which it goes about. It doesn't determine it unlike others would do, or because a council lives here, or because Mr. Who and Mr. Ha live on this street, then we need to do this street. They do it by a methodical process that tries to best and most efficiently utilize the resources of the people of Belize City, because those are the people who pay the taxes and who actually ensure that these things are repaired, that these streets are repaired. So once again, kudos to the mayor, the mayor hopeful, Mr. Dion Leslie, central government, on once again putting the necessary investment into the infrastructure of Belize City, which is the economic hub of the entire nation. Anybody, they could talk anything else, but the truth is Belize City is the economic hub. We have over 50,000 people who commute into the city.
You have the international airport here.
Everything.
When they decided that they were going to move the capital up to Belmopan, Belize City never move up to Belmopan. The residents of Belize City, the people move up to Belmopan who had to go there to work. But economic activity remained in Belize City. The economic hub is in Belize City. Look at police call. Carla, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, as you know, on this street talks and so on.
Listening on your
what street I wanted the address at some point in time that is Linda Vista Street.
Oh yeah, that one half of the Western Highway, right?
Because they may stand bad one time I'm calling to you and they may stand bad and they may throw some boulders for it. But now that number.
No, really, no, it's bad. I traveled on that a few times, and it's really
it's very trafficable.
Yeah, and then
everybody will come for Belmopan, how today.
And then you come through, and even to reach Mahogany Street, it's bad.
Man, it's terrible.
Yeah. So no, I will ask them to look at it. It needs some.
I know they stop with a lot more time. I know at some point in time, let's keep that in a consideration.
Yes, man. Yes. And I know the street for you, really bad. Bad.
That's better.
Yeah, man, I carry my car through the boy. I look at I want to bless myself. That dog got some big hole. Yeah.
So once again, I just got a message from the mayor hopeful Dion Leslie, who relayed to me that the fact that the streets which are being concreted are the streets which, like I was alluding to, are the main artery streets right now. And so if you notice, Raccoon Street is a street in which most of the buses use. East Collect Canal is the main downtown street. Erie Street is one which is consistently used by students in the area. 3rd Street is the main access to 6th Street. And Chancellor Avenue is to complement the traffic which has been flowing through Teacher Street. That's one way now. So for many of those who come from through the highway, use that as, again, it's a main. I live in that area, so we know that it's a bypass. People come rather than going through straight down what is that, Blue Marlin Boulevard. They would cut down and go in that area. So once again, there is a systematic process by which they're choosing the streets which they're concreting.
I want to tell people, they're working on the portion of the Northern Highway, and you could divert. And you see Seashore Drive and come all the way up to and avoid a lot of the hassle.
That is what I use all the time. But I think quite a number of people, because whenever I'm on it now, it seems like a highway. I use it and I bypass all of the work that is being done on the highway.
But like I was saying to OJ this morning, with the vision of this government, they're doing the Northern Highway between Halover Bridge and replace the Halover Bridge, right? The thing is that in my case, I could go through Chetomal Street and come right around. But if there were no Dean Barrow Bridge there, I couldn't do that. And so it shows that this government, the development taking place is planned. They're not something where haphazard. Do this one. I recall one PUP mayor in the past paved the street right from Finney House to the boulevard. And I'm no serious. I don't want to call a name.
What a thing. What a thing. But again, Joe, so yes, so you know there's a lot of work being done there, and so we're highlighting that because that is in the newspaper for this week. And another topic is that one of my other favorite topics is the decriminalization of marijuana. Well, right now it is going to be on, I believe, the 23rd of November. The Regional Commission on Marijuana will be visiting, and they will be having through the auspices of the Office of the Attorney General, they will be having consultations, and these consultations are supposed to be for a CARICOM-wide movement which is trying to determine whether or not marijuana should be moved out of the schedule of drugs, and to whether or not the Caribbean as a whole should move towards legalization of marijuana. And so
that will be on the
23rd of November, and they have it in 3 different sections. 3 different focus groups. They're doing it by focus group consultations. I believe it's going to be at the Biltmore. I don't remember exactly, but it's in the Guardian for more details if you want it. But 3 specific areas that they're asking people, 3 different specific focus groups. They want youths, they want churches and NGOs. And when they say churches and NGOs, I want to ensure, and us, members of the Rastafarian community, to ensure that as a faith, that all you show up and represent in the NGO and in the church's discussion. I also want to invite and ensure that those persons who are members of grassroots organizations, to ensure that you show up and let your voice be heard when they're talking about it from the NGOs. Because way too often when they think churches, they think just traditional churches and make no consideration for those who are members of the Rastafarian faith, which is a religion. And also when they talk NGOs, they normally talk about only those which are the highfalutin ones, and not talking about grassroots organizations who really work with people in the communities. And so we want to ensure that all those 2, and the last ones are legal practitioners and other special interest groups such as medicinal people, etc. So again, that is next week. Again, too often these conversations come up and we don't participate, and then afterwards when policy is set, you say, but I never have an opportunity to have my input.
I don't know. I never know. I never hear about it. It's like the Pharmacists Association.
Exactly.
You've been having consultation for 3 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden somebody get up now and get on the TV and say, well, I don't know what happened.
Definitely.
New regulations is be a part of the discussion, because nobody got about discussion for waste time. You're discussing with people because we need to implement certain changes. Because basically, if you look on this thing with these pharmaceuticals, right, the whole idea is to safeguard the Belizean public. How you want to take this thing? You want to take medication? You don't know where it comes from. Anybody they sell, no.
And again, Joe, I want to say that on a totally completely different topic, last week they had the film festival, International Film Festival here in Belize. I don't know why I wrote down music here. It's the International Film Festival.
You like music?
No, because I had Shang Barrow name here because he was a significant contributor to it again. But first and foremost, I must say congrats to the organizers, specifically Miss Suzette Zaiden, who this project is her brainchild. She works at Niche, but this is her personal brainchild, the International Music Festival.
You got a commissioner to Nigel
McGill. I have his name right here. Also, kudos to Mr. Nigel McGill, who is the film festival, the commissioner, who has been doing yeoman's work in terms of trying to ensure that Belize becomes a film destination and encouraging persons to get involved in this industry.
Here I laugh after Here I remember when Emory King was a film commissioner. Here nothing happened.
No. Nigel is doing significant work. So much so that I wanted to highlight the fact, and and his office is right there on Albert Street. I wanted to highlight the fact that in the discussion last week that, and I was able to attend the film festival. In the discussion, they were talking about the fact that they have several scholarships for persons who might be interested in working with some of the best film persons in the film industry in the US.
Okay.
And so there are quite a number of scholarships for persons to have hands-on practical experience with working with some of the people that make some of these big films. I remember like one of the persons that were there, they worked on things like Despicable Me and big films. And so go ahead and check out Nigel for those scholarship opportunities. And since we're talking scholarship, I should have talked about this during the sports section, but tomorrow is supposed to be the deadline for the application for my organization's scholarship application, which is, you know, the Alumni Foundation. Again, the applications you can get the applications online at the Facebook page is called the SJC and Wesley Alumni Foundation page, Alumni Foundation. And or you can get the applications from both SJC and Wesley College. You're supposed to have hard copies. Again, these are scholarships for high school student athletes opportunities. So tomorrow is supposed to be the deadline. We hope that we get in these applications so we can provide someone the opportunity for education.
OJ, and as you're talking about deadline, the 24th of November will be the deadline for persons who are applying, because you know the government now pays for 6 weeks.
Oh yes, you're
so
right.
So the 24th of November will be the deadline. You go on the Ministry of Education website. There are 3 things. You need to be a Belizean. Secondly, you need to be in a Fort Farmer or in some continuing
education, yes,
institution. And the third thing, you need to fill out your application.
Definitely.
So when I want nobody to call me and tell you, well, you know, I never get the deadline to fill out the application form for the 6 CXCs, the 24th of November,
definitely,
2017.
Definitely. But back to the film festival again, as I was saying a little while ago, His Excellency Shine Barrow, the Ambassador of Music, was a significant contributor to the International Film Festival, and so I want to give kudos and respect to him, and I want to give kudos and respect to Big Bang, who won the Music Video of the Year award, in which Shine Barrow actually, Big Bang, young boy, talented, very talented young man, and the video that he make, all his videos in fact are A quality. I don't know the directors he works along with, I guess his imagination, everything A quality.
But you see OJ, when you talk about you can't separate music and film.
That's exactly what they say.
Big thing they happen now, right? You remember Michael Jackson started with this video. So no they no longer get and they sing with a band. You have to really perform out there. People want to see some action thing they happen.
Definitely.
So music and film go together.
Go hand in hand.
And I want to say, you see, with the big up Nigel and you the big up Suzette, Shine Barrow needs to be commended.
Yeah, that's
because the level of development you have seen taking place in the music industry.
Most definitely.
Since Shine the boy and a joke.
Definitely.
I want to remind people about that state-of-the-art recording studio.
Right there at the youth department, most definitely. You know, the work has been tremendous by Shine, and anybody who is a honest observer would appreciate that the work he has done in terms of promoting music in Belize, in terms of helping the artists, in terms of ensuring that they produce quality music and a quality product, and actually teach them the business of music. In fact, I think that way too many artists have not taken advantage of the opportunities that he has presented. I know that he has brought in world-class producers, developers, all type of people involved in the music industry.
I to tell you about that and Shine, because Shine has been there. He has done that.
Definitely.
You know
so once again, yes, so kudos and respect to Shine on that. Well, last but not least is that I must give kudos and respect to the Honorable Minister Patrick Farber, who obviously is the Minister of Sports, Youths and Culture, and he the work that he has done in terms of embracing the film festival, and in terms of the work that Shine Barrow has been doing as the music ambassador, facilitating anything that they need and want so far as promoting that. In fact, the people that were here, I went to meet with them, they said they were absolutely impressed in the level of knowledge and in the enthusiasm that he expressed with them when they said that, they want to give scholarships to persons who to go and study. He said, well, just let us make it happen, because it offers a tremendous opportunity. Not everybody is going to be academically genius, but as we know, people who work in this film industry, they are geniuses in their own. The reality is, as we know, they make a whole bunch load of money as well.
Last week that thing happened, because remember we had the International Youth Conference.
Yes.
And right on the heels of that, I think that closed last week, Thursday. Friday you had the opening of the film festival.
Yeah.
So then seeing last week, I mean, talking about the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Patrick Farber, last week they had the launch, the soft launch at the sporting complex. So lot of thing happen.
Yeah. Last but not least, I know time is running up on us now, but last but not least, and an easy transition, in fact, is that I just want to remind residents of Khaled. The DPM said, please remember.
Why tonight?
Tonight
or tomorrow?
Tonight.
Sure?
The man just messaged me.
Just messaged me. I saw how I'm meeting that. You're right, that's tonight. I just hear about I always think that Thursday, but today that Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
Yeah,
today is Thursday. Yes, for those, remind the residents of the Khaled constituency that tonight is the big culture night.
Yes.
There
I think
in
I might pop up there now.
Constituency at the office of the constituency office there in Khaled. And like I said, I have not been to one before, so I'm very excited. I
might pop up there, but
I eat an early lunch because apparently the food is so spectacular.
Yes, but then to the man make you understand that of a Khaled.
Yes.
I don't register the Khaled.
I tell him if you want me before transferring, if you make sure I only plate of food, but
yeah,
yes,
but it's
said exactly.
It starts at 6
to 10. Like he said, you're right to say that. While all residents of Belize City are welcome, that the food that is provided is for the residents of Khaled.
So we don't go there, man.
But everybody can come and enjoy the wonderful entertainment that is going to happen there. And I believe it's from 6 to 10 tonight. And I believe it is from 6 to 10 tonight, because he made sure to make that clear. So once again, Joe, and it's November 19th weekend. The reason they're having culture is because it's a big weekend.
Big thing at Griga.
Big things are going on in Griga. And so
for we'll make a remind people to tomorrow, the official opening of the sporting complex in
Punta Gorda. So yes, that's exactly where we began this segment by saying. And so once again, we're making our way down there tomorrow to do that official opening and a bunch of other activities related to the opening of the complex tomorrow there in Punta Gorda. So Joe, once again, everybody as usual, we hope that everybody has a safe.
It's a long weekend.
It's a long.
Monday's a holiday too.
It is a holiday.
Monday's a holiday. It's a long weekend.
Really? Boy, yes, I didn't even realize Monday is
a holiday. It's a long weekend.
That is a welcome surprise.
Yes, brother. That is why.
A welcome surprise. Yes, you're right.
Yesterday they said to me,
you're right.
Yesterday Dion said to me, he said we are start work on the streets. Tuesday, so they try to figure out, but why Tuesday? Why not Monday? He said, only you want at the work past Monday. Come on that holiday.
That's
so
right.
It's a long weekend, and so we want to ask people to be safe.
Definitely.
So if I don't get hold out so boy.
Boy, well, I want to try hunt everywhere.
Why Miss Telma want to hold out the 19th? She said that hold out and Darasa and something else. Shukong slow.
Wow.
Yeah, because yesterday I make had a thing with part had a friend of mine, one of my special
friend.
Yeah. And wanted, because at the school where her nephew goes, they had you had to bring Garifuna food. Why? And I tell us on they all about market, all about they look for cassava bread. I couldn't find. And I'm saying, well, I'm still going because I want to get one lady who don't still say, no, you don't get that.
19th.
The 19th.
The 19th.
Open
The 19th.
all day Sunday.
19th.
Yes,
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yes.
So once again, I just want to, wish everybody a happy Garifuna Settlement Day. It's a long weekend, like Joe said. Ensure that all you have fun. Out, if you're drinking, don't drive, and if you drive, don't drink.
Boy, as you talk about drinking, don't drive, I want to ask people, because we notice, and it's sad, right, that on the Hummingbird, the last few weeks, we've lost a number of lives.
That's right.
And so we want to ask people to exercise, please, because we have got a lot of people who drive up there.
Definitely.
So we want to ask people who
definitely
exercise, due care and caution on that road.
Definitely.
Because last week Friday.
I know for like the past 3 weeks there have been people.
And then like the Friday before, around about the same time, accident happened.
Definitely.
And so I
wanted
I wanted to drive to Dangriga, right? But I was advised by my special friend better left that alone.
Definitely. So all right, Joe. So enjoy your weekend, and once again enjoy your weekend. I'll be definitely. I'll be there. So once again, thanks for having me, and as usual, it has been truly wonderful. You look upon the time. That's time in 9:29.
Yeah.
9:29.
And then before we go, we want to remind our listeners or viewers, readers of The Guardian, that The Guardian is out. Get a copy of The Guardian, and after you're done read The Guardian, you go to page 5, and there's a coupon, right? Now you can fill out as many coupons as you want, and all you have to do, put your name, put your address, your phone number. You not bring it up that way. If you take it downstairs, the office of The Guardian is right downstairs. You take it downstairs. We will not be accepting any photocopies. You have to have originals, and the prize is a hamper, a holiday hamper, a huge holiday hamper, valued at over $1,000. When I read the little thing, when I give me say I got turkey, ham, pork leg, groceries for a complete Belizean Christmas, New Year's dinner with the trimmings, white and black fruit cake. It says soft and not so soft drinks, holiday fruits, household cleaning items, toiletries, Marley for the floor, Christmas gifts for the entire family, and much more. But I want to win that.
Definitely.
So it's $1,000. All you do, get a copy of The Guardian, and if you could grab a copy last week and you could find the coupon in there, it's on page 5. Fill it out and bring it down there. Okay?
Definitely.
And again, we want to encourage Belizeans to treat your taste buds to good pizza and excellent food at Most Pizza Grill.
That's right.
Yeah. And then when you full up yourself, you got it the other day.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Puma Janelles.
That's right.
5.5 miles on the George Price Highway. And then me get gas.
All the time.
And when I buy me gas, and when I pay for me gas, I get the correct amount. You know, something I got there, boy. What time I got a gas station, OJ? Boy, the next morning I say, but son wrong with the car. They say, but you run out of gas. I say, but how I run out of gas? When I come right off of the street, then I go home and park my car. I get it, boy. Anyway, we want to say thanks to, again, OJ, before we go, I want to say a heartfelt thank to you for being part of First Thing in the Morning, the Thursday, Trending Thursday. We want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Mike. Definitely. For coming here and explaining the kind of work that is being done. And we want to say thanks to Wave Television, CBC Channel 54, CCV Channel 11, Southern Cable Network Channel 43, Dangriga Cable Vision Channel 54, BMA North Kurzweil Channel 11, Nortivision Channel 11, Northern Cable Network NCN Channel 11, St. Charles Cable Channel 54 in Punta Gorda Town, and CTL Mascal Channel 11 for providing us with television coverage. First Thing in the Morning is carried live on SCR Sugar City Radio Station, Orange Walk, 103.1 FM. You can also find us using the Mad Lab Radio Belize app, which you can download on your Apple and Android devices. Wave Radio and Wave TV is also live every day on our Facebook page. Wave Radio and Wave TV. Find us, like the page, and tune in every day. We want to say thanks to all those persons who called us this morning, all those persons who joined in the conversation. Thanks for having us in your offices, in your cars, in your homes, in your bedrooms, wherever you listen to us, wherever you watch us. OJ Elrington, Joe Bradley. We want to bid you a pleasant good morning. Keep it locked on the wave 105.9 and 99.9. Your most trusted name in information, education, and entertainment. Take it away, Premier.